Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I am Ryan Clifton Boland. As some of you already know, Governor Desantis has been rebuked, scorned, and ridiculed for supposedly bullying a group of youth at I think it was a press conference that he was having in his state. And they were behind him. He was standing up to the podium, and they were behind him, and he basically told him, "You don't have to wear the mask." I'm not gonna go into all the details on that because I saw a clip of the video, and he's getting a lot of backlash and being accused of being a bully. Well, clearly from what I was looking at, it did not appear in any way that he was being a bully. But tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read a portion of an article of his very words when he was he was being interviewed by Tucker Carlson. I'm going to read a portion of his words, and then when I'm finished reading those words, I'm going to give you a more detailed opinion of what I really think about all of this. So the article is entitled, "Desantis, Bullying is locking kids out of school and forcing them to wear masks for 8 hours." This is from Breitbart News. It says, on Thursday's broadcast of the Fox News channel Tucker Carlson Tonight, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis reacted to criticism he received for criticizing the theater of students behind him wearing masks. Bullying is locking kids out of school, which they did. Bullying is forcing kids to wear masks for 8 hours a day, which they did for 2 years and are only stopping now because the polling's changed. Let me stop right there and make a comment right there. Absolutely true as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely true. A lot of these Democratic-run states are seeing that the pollings are changed. Their polls are going down, and the Republican-run states, their polls are going up. And they're like, wait a minute. It might be because we forcing these kids and forcing people to wear these masks and forcing them to do that. And now they see, come on, man. To me, it's obvious what's going on. But anyway, let's go on. I digress. And said he's against the two-tier society where you have adults that are not masked, and then the students are all masked, or you'll have a crowded restaurant where everyone's having a good time and they make the servers wear masks. DeSantis says, well, Tucker, none of the adults were wearing masks, and it seemed to me that someone told these kids they had to do it. Right. So I just wanted to make it very clear that they do not need to be doing it. Obviously, in Florida, it's a free state. You can do it. But I think it's also important to point out that there is no reason to do it for young and healthy kids, especially in the state of Florida. End quote right there. And you guys can read the rest of that article in the description box below if you would like. But I want to just say right up front, I saw a clip of that, as I said in the introduction of this video. I saw a clip of that, and there is no way, in my opinion, from what I observed, that DeSantis was bullying these young people. In fact, there was a group of parents, I believe, that got upset with DeSantis, and they were hooping and hollering and fussing and complaining that DeSantis was bullying their children. You know, and what's ironic about it is as they were showing his parent hooping and hollering and getting upset about what DeSantis did in terms of him supposedly bullying her son. I think he was he was standing right beside her wearing a mask, and she wasn't wearing a mask. This is brought out in another news clip and I'm like, people are so brainwashed in our society. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable how dumbed down, for lack of a better word, it's unbelievable how dumbed down so many people in our society has become. They're so brainwashed. They're so brainwashed by the far leftist radical liberals have so brainwashed these people with this nonsense that you can literally have a parent standing right beside her son who has a mask on. She's standing there with no mask on, and she's accusing DeSantis of bullying her son into not wearing his mask. Oh, my goodness. America is in trouble, people. America is in trouble when you have something that crazy going on. You have something that crazy going on. It is unbelievable how the media is twisting these people's minds. The far left is twisting these people's minds with this nonsense. And I could look at the face of that lady, and she looked like she was in a date. She looked like she was in a trance state. Her eyes was wide, and she looked like she was crazy. And quite frankly, in my opinion, she probably was a little loony. Because the far leftists, as far as I'm concerned, those who are on the far left, I'm talking about the far left. I'm not talking about people who may be on the left, but they got some sense. I'm talking about the far left radicals. Something is wrong with them psychologically. But I'm not going to go too far into that. I digress. But as far as I'm concerned, DeSantis did not bully these kids. And he was absolutely right. You had all these big gatherings and stuff. We got people not wearing masks, and you got the servers wearing masks, but the people that's eating not wearing masks. It's silly. The whole thing is silly, and it needs to stop. I think I was reading some portion of an article somewhere. I didn't read it completely, but no, that's what it was. I believe I saw a portion of an article from Breitbart, and I was thinking about actually doing that article, but I changed my mind, that there was a proposition that was passed by the Senate that states that the COVID-19 emergency situation has been removed or whatever, is going to be done away with. And in other words, it seems to me to indicate that the Senate was saying, well, basically, we're going to get rid of this COVID-19 emergency. We got to stop all of this. And I'm saying to myself, like I said, I didn't read completely read the article. I just read the headline of it. And if this is what this is implying, of course, we've been going through this since 2019. We were told that during the first 2 weeks, we were supposed to try to curb the whatever, curb it or whatever they want to call it. I forget. It's been so long ago. I forget, people. The years just go by. I forget what it is. But it was supposed to be like curbing the virus or whatever in 2 weeks or whatever, slowing it down. Look at that. We're still dealing with it right now. Still dealing with it right now. You're never going to completely get rid of it. It's going to always be here, just like the cold is always here, just like the flu is always here, just like pneumonia is always here. All of a sudden, those viruses disappear, magically disappear, and are consumed and eaten up by the almighty COVID-19. The almighty COVID-19 is so severe and so horrible that it has consumed the other viruses and made them, almost merged them into one, like The Thing. Remember the movie The Thing, 1982, John Carpenter's The Thing, how they absorb and eat you and absorb you and imitate you? Maybe, is that what the COVID-19 did? Did it absorb all these other viruses and mutate into another? I don't know. But all of a sudden, these other viruses magically disappear. But my point simply is this. COVID-19 is going to always be here, just like all these other viruses. Let's get over it. Let's move on with our life. But here's what I believe. I don't believe that far leftist radical government officials are going to want it to end. They have an agenda. And to me, far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, this is another attempt to try to manipulate and control the people to see how far they can control us. Clearly, this woman in this video, in a video I was saying about the parent with the child, she was under mind control as far as I'm concerned. Her eyes is bucked and crazy. She looking like a fool while her son sitting up here, sitting right next to her with the mask on. And he probably is like, my mom got his mom, aunt, whatever it is. I guess he was a mom. I'm going to assume that the son was like, oh, my goodness, mom, I'm only on here, Mom, because I like the attention, I like to be on camera. He looked like he was smirking with his mask on. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I agree with DeSantis. And like I said, I saw the video. It was no way he was bullying him. The far left don't have nothing else to do but to sit up and say he was bullying him. I listened to it. I saw it. He said, you don't have to wear that anymore. You don't have to wear that. This theater, this is ridiculous. He said, we got to get rid of this theater, this COVID theater. In other words, for form and for fashion, just to just as a show. We got to get rid of this. We have to stop this. That's what he's basically saying. I thank God for people like him. Now, it could be argued that he's doing that because the election time is coming and so forth, and he's really hammering it down, and maybe he might run for the presidency. If so, then that'll be a good thing because we can get rid of this nonsense. But we got 3 more years of that person in the White House right now. We got 3 more years of him. And his approval ratings, for what I understand, after this union address he gave, his approval rating is only like at 35%. So 35% of Americans are the only ones that approve of him. I don't see why anybody approves of him. You have to be really, really blind to do so. Either that or you just want to hang on to this political ideology because you're too stubborn to admit that maybe you made a mistake. See, a lot of this is, in my opinion, is a matter of pride. People too proud to admit when they messed up. Well, heck, I admitted when I messed up, I've been voting for the Democrats for all my life. And when I found out they was the ones that was supporting slavery and the creator of the KKK, it didn't take long for me to say, hey, I ain't gonna vote for them fools no more. It didn't take long for me to do that. I changed. I said, So I figure if I can change, other people can change. It's not a matter of, well, I just been a part of it. Man, come on. But anyway. But that's just my spin on that. I don't believe at all that Governor Desantis was bullying these young people. He was strong in what he says, and he's almost like a secondary Trump in the way he addressed it. He was strong in what he was saying, and some of the kids, some of them took their mask off, others kept theirs on, but he said you can keep them on if you want to. He said that you can keep them on if you want to. So how is that bullying? If he suggested to the others that you can keep your mask on if you want to, how is that bullying? How is that bullying? But then, as he said later on in the article, and I'm going to end it on this, as he said later on in the article, I don't want to give away too much of it. You might want to read the rest of it for yourself. The real bullying, as he said, was forcing these kids to wear these masks for 8 hours out of the day. And in some schools in the country, in some schools, they literally was putting kids out of the schools in the schoolyard while it was 30 degrees and 40 degrees outside. It's cold, but because these kids didn't have any masks, they was putting them outside. How come these school teachers are not accused of being bullies? But you're going to accuse Desantis of being a bully by sitting up and suggesting to these young people that you don't have to wear these masks. You can take those masks off. We don't need this theater. You don't have to wear it. If you want to wear it, you can wear it, but you don't have to. That's bullying. But you have school teachers in the same note, have school teachers in certain schools throughout this country that are putting kids out of their classrooms and into the schoolyards. I did a video on that some months ago. You can look it up on there. If you subscribe to this channel, look it up. It's on there. Put these kids out in the cold because they didn't have on a mask. Either they didn't have on a mask or they wasn't vaccinated. Something stupid. That's not bullying. That's not bullying. See, how we forget, how the mainstream media forgets, how the public forgets. But I don't forget. I don't forget. So, look, what do you guys think about all this? What do you think about Desantis? Was he bullying them? Did you see this video? Did you see this clip? Do you think he was bullying them or not? I don't believe at all he was bullying these young people. This is just another excuse for the far left to demonize someone on the right. And look, Desantis basically is the man. He's a man. It is what it is. Get over it, Democrats. Grow up here. Let's get over it. Let's go on with our lives. All right. But that's my opinion on it. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, share this video, and subscribe. God bless you all, and see you again.